Emilio Ryan, when he demonstrating the drill, looked like he still can go out there.
He had the best rookie year of any quarterback in the NFL history.
Line up against anybody in the NFL is a dream come true for me.
Commanders Family Training Camp is officially underway. That's right, we have the whole Command Center crew here at camp ready to break down some of the biggest moments. Logan, London, and Sean, they're gonna hit the field to talk about the addition of future Hall of Famer Von Miller and what it means for this Commanders defense. And we're ending the show with some of our analysts' favorite memories from playing together. I promise you want to hear these guys take a walk down training camp memory lane. All that and more right now on Command Center. Welcome into Command Center, Commanders Family. I'm here with the best crew in Commander Land, and we had just wrapped up day one of training camp. Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, London Fletcher, Sean Springs, and Logan Paulson. We got the whole crew here, and that's because it's training camp. That's because we are seeing Jayden Daniel start his second year in the NFL. Fellas, how y'all feeling, baby, after day one?
I feel pretty good, man. I think one of the things about day one, you just want to come out here and get your feet wet. You want to get used to just doing what we're going to be doing for the rest of this year. I mean, people think about it. It's training camp, but once training camp is over, that's when the season starts. So the day one is always, let me get out here and get in the mindset that this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 months.
Just get acclimated. That's what you're trying to do. Get acclimated, but let's tell the truth. As veterans, we hated training camp. Nobody wants to say the truth, but training camp is the reason players retire. It's not the season. It's not the long wear and tear at the end of the season. It's training camp because training camp takes so much out of you mentally and physically just to prepare for the season. It's hard for players.
Yeah, I say this, having gone through 16 NFL training camps, the anxiety the day before.
Like the 2 days before camp.
You always, regardless of how many training camps you've gone through, the anticipation, because the intensity is going to ramp up a little bit. The anxiety is going to ramp up a little bit more because, hey, the summertime is over. Playtime is over. It's serious. You can tell that the coaches, they ramp up their intensity a lot more. But it's a part of what you got to go through to get yourself ready for the season.
Along with this anticipation, what you're going to be working on, all of us came into training camp with a plan. What's a little detail we're going to take into the season? What we need to perfect? Because we only got 5 or 6 weeks to get it right before we go into the season. So everybody's focused on what is the fundamentals, what is the detail, what is the skill set that I want to pick up and make me better for the season?
Yeah, mine was a little bit different, man. The first day of training camp, I was trying to kind of set the tone for the rest of the thing because I was trying to make the squad every year. 10 years, I was trying to make it, and in training camp for me was a job interview. So kind of starting that first day off right, making sure I understood what we were doing, making sure I brought the intensity and was ready to carry that for the next 3 weeks. That was something that was extremely important for my process. And like you said, Fletch, very, very stressful.
How was that anxiety? I got to ask you that. How was that anxiety?
It was terrible.
Team every year.
It was terrible, man. You're leaving your family, you're leaving your kids at home, and then you're like, man, I hope I got a job here in 3 weeks. And that's always pretty stressful.
Especially for an undrafted guy. Those
I can only imagine.
Cut days.
Oh, my gosh.
Especially that final cut.
I still get stressed thinking about it.
Did I not make the team? Have I done enough?
Yeah.
And in London, it's interesting to hear that you felt that same type of stress. So was that all through your career?
Absolutely. That's because you care about it. You care about it.
Yeah.
You never take anything for granted, whether like, hey, I was a starter the year before.
Don't matter.
I'm still trying to prove myself.
Every year.
Trying to
New year.
Earn my spot on this football team.
And we have no doubt everybody's out here trying to prove himself. Even our head coach, Dan Quinn, who is good in his second year with the Burgundy and Gold. Let's hear from our fearless leader right now.
At the start of it, competition, that's what drives training camp. And that's over the next 5 to 6 weeks. And if you really love ball and your teammates and like a really hard-ass challenge, like training camp's kind of the coolest part to do that. You can imagine a DB trying to match wits with Jayden or being a running back in the open field against Bobby Wagner and that kind of tackle, like the guy's absolute tackling G. Can you beat him? Or a defensive end going against Laramie Tunsil or a guard against Payne. All these little matchups helps you bring out your best going against their best. And each summer, everybody asks me, hey, what's your favorite part of training camp? And I point to that. I say, it's always the competition. and seeing these matchups and seeing what goes on. And so that's why we love it so much. It's that time.
It's time for Securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. Fellas, we just heard from Dan Quinn, and we know training camp is all about competition. Logan, I'm going to start with you since you are the far end. What are you looking forward to seeing as we get through training camp?
I think it's the offensive line, how that group comes together. You know, they got an issue with the right guard spot with Cosby being out. Who fills that role? How does Conerly come along? Laramie Tunsil, like, what does his leadership bring to this group? And again, like, kind of bigger picture, what does that group allow Cliff Kingsbury to do? Like, how does the offense evolve over the course of training camp, moving into preseason joint practices? So I think that's going to be a really big storyline to keep an eye on moving forward.
For me, you talk about a team that's felt the taste of potential Super Bowl team. How is this team going to come into this camp still with that hunger, saying, you know what, we can take the next step? We added people like Von Miller that we saw earlier in today that can make plays in the playoff. I want to see how this team focus and how they come out for the next 5 to 6 weeks and say, you know what, we got something special this year.
Pass rush. That's the question mark that, people around the country.
Spoken like a true defensive player, though, right?
Because I think if you say, hey, what's the biggest question mark with this team? We went out and solidified the offensive line. We've added pieces to the wide receiver core.
It's not the secondary for you? To me,
the secondary, I think the secondary is going to be really good with the pieces that they've added. But the big question, do we have the requisite pass rush to be able to make a deep run? You add Von Miller. Is it going to be who's going to be the other guy? We know what Frankie Lou will do.
You got Kinlaw.
What will the other guys do? We need to be able to add to that pass rush to be able to put pressure on offenses.
Piggybacking off of what you're talking about, I think they got bigger. When we played against Philadelphia in the playoffs, we got pushed around. So we go get a Kinlaw. We go get another 320-pounder up in there. And I think what they want to do right now, Coach Witt wants to do, he wants to win in the rundowns on first and second down. So now they playing third and long. And that's when you got Von Miller, and that's when you got Frankie Lou. So I think what they did said, you know what, we're going to get big and we're going to win early so we get the pass rush and play late. And I think that's what I really want to see. I want to see the maturation of how that goes.
I think for me, I'm going to stick to the offensive side of the ball. I want to see this receiver room. I think, you look at a year ago, we were sitting there talking about Terry and the others. And now it's loaded. It's some guys in there that can really raise some eyebrows. So I want to see how these guys gel and come together, and just knowing that you have guys that was here last year that made big plays. Now you adding guys who gonna push you out. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna be the guy that they're gonna say, I'm gonna be in them first three guys, and who's gonna be one of those guys that we won't be trying to shop around?
I'm glad you brought up that first three guys. Like, it's going to be Noah Brown, the number 3, Luke McCaffrey, his second year. Jayden Lane. Who's going to compete and become that third wide receiver? We know who the first two are. Who will be that third guy?
Yeah, and Fletch, I wanted to ask you, following up on the cover, because I'm really worried about the secondary. You know what I mean? How that group comes together.
I'm not.
Well, this is what I want to ask you. Like, where do you Marshawn coming off the injury? We got a young guy playing the other side. We got Sanders still moving to a new spot. Like, that seems like a lot of new positions, right?
Not really.
UDF, we're bringing in a free agent, and Will Harris. It seems like a lot of new.
No. Here go think about it. The free agent, when we brought in Will Harris, veteran. He going to plug and play player. And he's a guy that can play all three levels of that defensive backfield.
A lot more is healthy now. That's a big difference.
And I don't think people know how hard it is to be traded in the middle of the season, coming off an injury.
And being injured.
And I need my team needs me to play big.
And Mikey's second year, he's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, he's going to be outstanding.
He got better all year.
But he's moving back to the nickel. You know,
he's comfortable there.
Yeah, he's comfortable.
Here's the other thing we haven't talked about. Then I'm surprised my two defensive backs haven't talked about this. The addition of Jonathan Jones. Jonathan Jones excels in man-to-man defense. New England Patriots, regardless for how bad they were as a team, they was always as good. A secondary, they were the best man-to-man coverage team in the National Football League. He spent his first 7-8 years there in New England. You have a guy who can play outside, he can play inside. You got Mikey, he can play outside, he can play inside. Yep. We don't know what the health is going to be like for Marshawn. Assuming he's going to be healthier this season, you got a guy. Then you draft Trey Amos. Hopefully he develops and they can count on him. You got so many guys and versatility and depth in that defensive back room that I'm not
worried about the defensive back room, and I'm not worried about the pass rush because I think they have a plan. I think they understand. Let's win the rundown, so we earn the right to run the pass.
Well, it's interesting, like the way you guys aren't concerned about the secondary. I'm not really concerned about the pass rush because Joe Witt Jr. showed last year that he could pressure.
Manufacture.
He can manufacture. You got to do it with fire, though.
But I mean, that's how a lot of teams do it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got that stud dude on the perimeter, which again, Von Miller's a good player, but I think think Joe Witt Jr. showed technically he can get it done.
I could put somebody there and we can still be productive.
You talk about not being concerned with the pass rush. So think about this.
As concerned as you, maybe.
Think about this. So you add 5. You bring in 5.
Yeah.
You got to cover now.
But that's why I'm concerned about the secondary. That's why I'm concerned about the secondary.
I'm not concerned about those guys.
Fellas, this conversation right here is why there is so much attention on the Washington Commanders. Not just from the best fans in the NFL, but from the national media as well. But the main storyline that we're all here to see is Jayden Daniels. So before we go any further, let's take a look at JD5's rookie numbers, because, man, it was an historic season. It's time for Top 5, presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the nation's capital since 1890. 69% completion percentage, over 3,500 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, and a record 891 rushing yards. Can't wait to see what he does in year 2. And our QB spoke to the media during camp on what year 2 has been like so far. Let's check it out.
I would just say just another year in the system, just being on the same page with Cliff and knowing how he calls plays. So I would probably say that's the biggest thing from last training camp to now, last offseason to now. You know, cleaning up some footwork things. That was probably just the main one that's off the top of my dome right now, where I could be more accurate on a couple of throws. But other than that, just sitting down and having a plan, and that's kind of what we did this offseason now. Went out back to California, put in some work with that with my quarterback coach, and now, we're in training camp.
It's all about JD5, Jayden Daniels, coming into his second year.
Yes.
Now, we got to see him during OTAs. We got to see him at practice. We've seen him up and down this facility a lot. Yeah. What do you guys want to see from him in training camp? His second NFL training camp. Tanner, I'm going to start with you.
Nothing special. I think one of the things that I want to just watch this guy mature more than where he's at now. I think when you look at a guy coming to his second year, you hear all the hoopla about, sophomore slump, but it's one of those things about your second year, you're just that much sharper. Yeah. You're just that much more ready when it comes to anticipating things.
And just comfortable.
And just comfortable, you know what I mean? So I don't expect that much right now. I don't want to see he don't have to wow me. You understand? Like, I know he's going to do that eventually, but I just want to see a guy that just, take command of what he's already, has in command and just continue to mature with the offense and with the guys around him.
Cross those T's, dot those I's, go back, look at the film from last year and troubleshoot that film and say, what can I do to get better? All right, yes, he had the best rookie year of any quarterback in the NFL history. He's not satisfied with that. Yeah. I've heard him say it on numerous times. I can be so much better, and it's so scary for NFL defenses because he's already a pinpoint passer. Yeah. He's already electric when he takes off outside the pocket. Now, can he take it to the third level and say, you know what? Now I'm running to pass. Mm-hmm. All right, now I have the ability to pass. I have the ability to run. But now I'm finna take it to the Patrick Mahomes level, and I have the ability to run, to pass, and to really break down a defense. Mm-hmm. Think about this if you're a defense. What are you going to do against him, Tanner? Are you going to play zone? Mm-mm. You have to play zone because you have to keep all 11 people looking at him. He understands this now. Most time when I see people, they're going to play me in zone or they're going to zone blitz me. They will never play me in man-to-man because they don't want the DBs to turn their back to me. Yeah. So he understands now how they're going to try to attack him, and it's going to make him better of them attacking them.
Yeah. And fellas, it was very obvious. There was a point of emphasis this offseason on adding around Jayden Daniels, offensive line, wide receiver room. We re-signed some tight ends. Let's talk about that wide receiver room real quick because we all know Deebo Samuel. We added a dog in Deebo Samuel. Tanner, how do you think he helps Jayden Daniels take it to that next level?
I think, let's talk about them as a whole first. I think when you just look at all the guys that we have, when you got Deebo, you have
skinnier Luke McCaffrey.
You have Lane, you have the guys that was already here last year. Yeah. That room just got to the point to where we went from a year of talking about they need help to now
who's gonna make the team?
Yeah. Do we have enough balls to go around?
Yeah. Plenty of offensive weapons for Jayden Daniels, and one of them being no other than rookie tackle, first-round pick, Josh Conerly Jr. We drafted him out of Oregon. He started 14 games for the Ducks in 2024, allowing 0 pressures in 10 of those 14 games. That's right, 0 pressures. And the captain, London Fletcher, had a chance to interview Conerly Jr. right out at his first training camp. We've got the best seat in the house, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Well, I'm standing here with rookie offensive tackle Josh Conerly. You've gone through your first NFL training camp practice. What was it like for you today?
It was fun. Lots of energy. Great competition out there. Just getting used to it all. So It was a fun, really good time.
For you as a guy that's going through your first NFL training camp, I went through 16 NFL training camps, and I was sharing with the rest of the guys how I was always anxious and a little bit nervous. It's almost like the first day of school. Yeah. What were kind of your emotions last night and leading up to training camp?
Nah, I feel that like word for word. First day of school feeling, and just getting out there and just knowing that I can just go out there and play ball and just have fun. So that was more my approach.
You had a couple weeks, about 5 weeks between the end of OTAs and the start of training camp. What was kind of the process like for you in order to get yourself ready for training camp, handle any situations that you needed to get handled leading up until to the start of the season?
Yeah, I had a lot of people pouring into me throughout the time. People back home in Seattle, out in Oregon. I worked out with LT for a week out in Auburn with him. So, I mean, just being able to move around a little bit and still have fun. I mean, that's I feel like that was the biggest thing for me, is being able to still enjoy working out and just knowing that there's a bigger purpose. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird though, being by yourself. You know what I mean? And kind of have to figure everything out by yourself and not being on a consistent college program. So but it was really fun though, being a lot more independent.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get I know you saw the signing of Von Miller. First round, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You got, in practice, you get opportunity to go against a Von Miller. You get opportunity to go against a Frankie Louvu. I don't know if you got a chance to go against those guys today. And if so, what was it like lining up against Von Miller or Frankie Louvu and some of the other pass rushers we have on this defense?
Yeah, I mean, line up against anybody in the NFL is a dream come true for me. And it's something I always work for. And I just try to make the most of every opportunity. You know what I mean? So.
All right, cool. Well, there you have it. Josh Conerly, he's going through his first NFL training camp. Appreciate you coming and joining us.
Shout out to our guy, Big Fletch, for catching up with the rookie. Now, it's very apparent seeing them two stand next to each other. He makes Big Fletch look not so big. Let's take a look at some of these accolades. He was the 2024 All-Big Ten first team selection, and the 6'5 monster had the fastest 10-yard split at the 2025 NFL Combine for offensive linemen. That was 1.7 seconds. The boy got some feet on him. What a great addition to the Commanders' offensive line. Now, speaking of additions, we have another new one, and this one is a future Hall of Famer in Von Miller. The vet brings Super Bowl and Pro Bowl experience to an already stacked linebacker room featuring my guy Frankie Louvu and fellow future Gold Jacket Bobby Wagner. Here's what Bobby had to say on Washington's newest linebacker.
I thought it was great, man. It's exciting to get somebody whose career has been magnificent, been fun to watch, fun to learn from. Excited to get to learn from him in person. A guy that I think still has a lot left in the tank. Someone offenses have to respect just because of his ability to get to the quarterback. And somebody just fun to be around, great person, great guy, going to be great in our locker room. So I'm excited. Honestly, it's just his work ethic. You know, you see a great come out and you know, how he works every single day, how he prepares and what he can give to the other guys, old and young. Like, he can really help his team a lot.
It's crazy to think we have multiple Gold Jackets on this defense. Now let's take a deeper look at our linebackers. Von Miller, a two-time Super Bowl champion and currently leads the NFL in sacks. Bobby Wagner, 100-plus tackle seasons. He has 13 of them. Can't believe we have both of those guys on there. Then the young guy of the group, Frankie Louvu, had a career year last year with 8 sacks. That was a career high in 2024. Can't wait to see what these three monsters do. This is your Can't Miss Moment presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. Now let's send it to my guys, Logan, London, and Sean, as they break down more of this linebacker room.
Thanks, Brian. And it's always fun to be down here on the field, like watching these drills live in living color, and to see Von Miller over here working with Ryan Kerrigan. Think about that, man. They were drafted in the same draft class. That's pretty cool. And again, like, what is the expectation for him coming in? Kind of, you know, like right before training camp started. You were telling me the other day you thought he wouldn't sign until much later in the process. But what does it mean for him signing right now?
Well, I think when you see a guy like Von Miller, he understands the importance of training camp. So him being able to have his best season Most veteran guys, they might want to wait until the very last minute, week before training camp, week before the regular season starts to sign. But he understands, hey, how important it is to get his body physically ready from a conditioning standpoint to work with his new teammates. And when you watch the tape, and I as soon as we signed him, I immediately went to the film. I'm sure you did the same thing. And I was impressed with his get-off. He still has an explosive get-off. Offensive tackles are still going to have to respect his speed coming off the edge. And so you have that element. But I think also the young guys, the other guys will be able to learn from him.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely great. And I think the other thing that I wanted to point out here is, like, this seems like boring stuff. We got Joe Wood Jr. over here watching, right?
So a true professional, something that you got. I don't know if you saw.
Let's see what we got.
The drill was kind of over. Vaughn wasn't happy with
his reps.
Yeah. He did one. Still wasn't all the way like exactly how it should be. He did it another time. So you got a guy.
Great lesson for those out there.
Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's why.
Who took 2 extra reps because, hey, I want to get it the exact way it should be done.
And again, you talk about Ryan Kerrigan and his impact. Like right now, he's coaching the long arm, which was his move. This was his pass rush move, right? So talk about learning a move that a guy perfected over 13 years in his career and getting all those finer details. You hear him say, oh, we're going to sell speed, put the outside foot down, get that arm locked out. Like, if there's one person that I wanted to teach me this, it's this move right now in this moment. And again, like you mentioned having Kerrigan, having Vaughn, having all these guys that understand the nuance of pass rush. Like, that's when it comes to life.
Is it me or Ryan, when he's demonstrating the drill, look like he still can go out there?
He can do it. He got that bad knee, though. But that goes from, so you got a guy in Ryan who can instruct and do it one way. But Vaughn, one of his signature moves is that long arm as well. So now, application. You got Ryan telling you, and he can demonstrate a little bit, but now you see Von Miller applying and showing guys literally some other little nuances.
And so, I mean, man, this is incredibly exciting, watching them touch on the details, watching kind of Vaughn get integrated into this organization. And again, this is just day one, man. And we're going to be out here covering training camp every single opportunity we have. We're going to give you that information live as often as we can. So can't wait to watch more training camp, and can't wait to be down here with you guys. The more the merrier.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to our guys for being out on that heat, breaking down our linebacker room. A lot to be excited for there. It's time for your winning numbers, brought to you by Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. Now, the 2-time Super Bowl champion has put up some major numbers in his career, but what I really want you to focus on is that 129.5 sacks. That leads all current NFL players, and we got to imagine he'll be adding to that this year. I had the pleasure of catching up with Von Miller right after he put pen to paper on the Next Man Up podcast, and I talked to him all about joining this Commanders linebacker room. Man, and then you enter a linebacker room with another future Hall of Famer in Bobby Wagner, and a guy really trying to get it right now in Frankie Louvu, man. How excited are you to be able to play alongside guys like that, and what do you think you bring to add to what's already working there?
Man, I'm like I said, I'm a team guy, man, and I know ball. I know ball, you know. Every team has different terminology and different language, of course, that you got to learn. But when it comes to ball, I got a PhD in it. It doesn't matter if it's offense, defense, special teams. You know, I just know. And we got some great guys here. We got some real dogs here. Those 2 guys, it was a huge part of the reason why I decided to come here, along with Jayden Daniels and, you know, Deron Payne and, you know, all of these guys, man. So you play long enough in the football league, in the National Football League, you'll know a little bit about every team. And it's a lot to be known about this team, man. They're right there on the edge, got a lot of talent, and I just want to, you know, supplement that. I just want to, you know, add to that. You know, have the opportunity to be the first player to win 3 Super Bowls or 3 different teams. That's enough to get you motivated as well. And then selfishly, you know, I just want to see if I'm the magic that did it. You know, if I'm the magic that can make it happen. You know, do I have the stuff to improve the team? Am I really the team guy that I think I am? These are all challenges that, you know, that I face every single day, that I'm excited to face. And, yeah, I'm excited to get in here with these guys and, you know, help with the mentality, help with the mindset, help with the culture. Obviously get sacks on the football field and just supplement to already is what it is, to supplement to a great team that's already being built.
It's not every day you get to catch up with a future Hall of Famer. You can catch our full sit-down interview on the Commanders YouTube page right now and subscribe to Next Man Up on all podcast platforms. Now, Our guys have been hitting the sidelines of Commanders training camp, and we know there are plenty of memories that these vets share, not only with themselves, but together. So let's take a walk down memory lane. What a fun show it's been, fellas, but we heard Dan Quinn say it's all about competition at training camp.
Yeah.
Now, all y'all got to compete together at one point in time.
Yeah.
I got to ask, who was the most competitive? I got an idea that one of y'all was doing maybe a little bit too much in practice at camp. Fred, what you think?
You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna compete at a high level, and that's what training camp is about. But if I can go back to one memory, I think I remember on this field right here, me and Matt Bowen taking on Chad Morton, and it got kind of physical, right? We had to whoop old Chad Morton because that's what happens in training camp is you're going against each other over and over and over again, and sometimes you get frustrated.
Fred, you won?
Yeah, I did. I choked.
You won, London?
He said he did.
We
won here.
I wasn't Chad off.
No,
I was the one that pulled
Sean
Chad
was
off.
there.
I pulled Chad off.
Now, Tanner.
What he didn't say though, he said it was 2 on 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So it took 2 of y'all to get him.
No, that's the one thing about DBs. We like a pack of wolves. Like you mess with one of us,
That's true.
you got to mess with all of us. All right? That's just the way it goes.
Cowards.
I look at it like this though, in training camp, especially when you had the 2-a-days and you were
The real 2-a-day.
Yeah, and it was physical.
Yeah.
And I had this motto: I don't believe in peace treaties. I don't we don't negotiate
with terrorists.
So what I mean by that, when we step between them white lines, we teammates, but we ain't teammates.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go easy on you, and I'm not gonna ask you to go easy on me. So don't come like, hey man, can take it easy. No.
No, you can't do that with Tanner, man. If I had to push Tanner or something,
But
Tanner would have been like,
I didn't have no motto, but I want for them to be no P. You know
So we could have did that with Tanner. Tanner would have been
me or you. You know what I'm saying?
And Tanner, you can compete at a high level.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna hit you.
Yeah,
So you
no,
probably
I
got, you didn't mind.
Well,
being
but
physical,
I
like,
have taken a
compete.
hit from a guy too, and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
So every now and then y'all have amnesia, and y'all go and hit one of us because somebody done ticked y'all off. But I would say, defensively as a whole, used to dominate our training camps. For some odd reason, I don't know what it was about training camp. The defense was always
No, we just started out fast.
a couple of steps
it's
ahead
the
of the
regular
offense.
calls for
So
us.
it was always tougher for us to get on track. Our defense be flying around. I remember we get into those live periods, those team periods, and the defense just seemed to have the best of us every time.
Yeah. I think because the thing about offense is timing.
Yeah.
And at that time in training camp, y'all ain't got your timing down.
Yeah.
But us, London come to the huddle and call cover 2. We're going to run cover 2.
Yeah.
We're going to run cover 4. We've done this before, so we're going to start out fast.
Dude.
Logan, what about you?
Well, for me, every day was like life and death.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about, like, Sean was asking me, hey, when was training camp hard for you? I was like, dude, like day one. Day one for 10 years was hard because like I was a guy that undrafted free agent, wasn't the best athlete, had to kind of find my way. And I was a guy also, Fletch, that didn't believe in peace treaties, but for a different reason because I was trying to make the team. I was trying to make dudes look bad, right? I was trying to cheat on guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if a guy was going easy, I was going to try and dump him in practice. Like people didn't like that, but I was trying to make the squad. I was trying to make a paycheck, and that's how I did my thing.
And training camp was very competitive for all of us because we all had these egos too. So the personalities come out. But you know what? You hate it when you got a blister or something on your foot. That's when training camp
It's
became
a wrap.
No. This is what you're going to hear from Bluefoot. Not today.
I love training camp, man, because
didn't
that's
do it.
when you got to work on your
That was the
fundamentals,
regular
your
season
skills.
too.
Now, regular season, you can't Monday night, you're not going to get Bluefoot. Man.
You know what? I cannot believe that you had an ego, Sean. I don't believe that for a second. I'm with a gang full of competitors, man. This was a lot of fun. But Sunday, we will be back live from right here at training camp, giving you everything you need to know Commanders related. For Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, London Fletcher, Sean Springs, and Logan Paulson, I'm Brian Coble Jr. This is Command Center. We'll catch y'all live on Sunday. This is terrible R&B.